The way is in training. Miyamoto Musashi, my friends, each and every day, 10 to 15 minutes. Thanks for being with us. We are traveling. We're about 6 hours ahead. And depending on where we are, our cell service, our phone service, our internet can be a little bit sketchy. But let's get this going. Looks like we have a very good connection right now. What do we see happening in the markets today? Well, stocks pulling back. Bonds, gold, and Bitcoin swinging up. Let's first talk about the S&P 500 down 1.12%. We can see that we're going to our second week of a doji. We still have green on our weekly candle. We can see that trend line, and we can call it still a trend line. It's not going up much, but as we connect the dots there, you can see on the 2-day chart, we've got a doji here trying to figure out which way to go. If the daily chart or the half-day chart is going to lead us anyway, we can see down in the morning the most, and then pulling back up a little bit in the afternoon. Nonetheless, down for the day 1.12%. So market's still in flux, not telling us exactly which way it's going to go. Is it catching its breath to move up further, or is it getting ready to move down? Last week, the volume was red and average. This week, again, we're just 2 days into it, so we shall see as we go further. Hopefully Wednesday will give us a good idea as to what really happens in the market and where we are heading. We look at the NASDAQ 100. We have a doji last week, and this week a green up candle, again, a small one. Volume is green, and of course volume has been averaged the prior 3 weeks on that weekly chart. We can see on the 2-day chart how, we can see volume. It's only the first day of this latest 2-day candle, so we'll see how that. Volume's been okay over the last several 2-day candles. We are above the weekly trend line on that 2-day chart, so we'll see which way that goes. Maybe Wednesday will be telling. We can see on the half-day chart how we had 1, 2, 3 days of up movement and then pulling down some, 0.87%. You can see where the biggest move down was in the morning and not as low in the afternoon. Now let's take a look at 20-year bonds. They swung back up. They're still red as far as the candle goes and the volume. Last week we had a spinning top. This week we can see we've got lots of down movement, and things are just sort of pegging just below that trend line. So we'll keep an eye on it. 2-day candle, first day of the 2-day candles, a red spinning top below that trend line. Not much of a trend line, I'll admit that. And we can see where things popped up to the trend line on Tuesday, and we'll see just how that plays its way out. Up 2.49%. That's a big gainer. What do we see on gold? Well, the prior 2 weeks were spinning tops. This latest one was a red one. And then all of a sudden up 1.93%. We are green as far as the candle goes, and we went ahead and connected that on our weekly trend line. Volume's okay right now. We look at the 2-day chart. It's sitting right there on above that trend line, and we can see where the half day with super high volume in the morning, and then about the same as far as price in the afternoon. Again, up 1.93%, so almost 2% for gold. So we'll just keep an eye on things and see where gold is heading. Now, remember, everything tends to revert to the mean, and that's why we pay so much attention to our biggest chart. All things being equal, the market tends to move in the direction of the biggest chart, and we're waiting for this biggest chart to sort itself out. Now, when we go to Bitcoin, we can see we're going to the 3rd week of a doji. So we go all the way back to the week beginning the 17th of April. That was a doji. Last week was a doji. Dojis mean lots and lots of indecision. We did see Bitcoin swing back up 3.37%. But when we even look at the 2-day candle, you can see sort of this sideways slide, more negativity than positivity. We see where we had big down movement, of course, on Monday, and then pulling back up some on Tuesday, but not making up for all that down movement. So again, still downward pressure there on Bitcoin. So we'll keep an eye on which way these markets go. Hopefully they'll sort themselves out and we'll have a better feel at the close of the markets on Wednesday. God bless, my friends. All the best from the whole team at Charting Wealth.